Hello, my name is Michael Gutierrez, and I selected beef stroganoff from the country Russia as my human nutrition project. Let's answer some questions first. Why did I select this country? I selected Russia because I don't know anything about Russian culture or anything at all. It always seemed like something I didn't know about, and I decided to take this opportunity to learn more about it. I decided to choose beef stroganoff to learn about Russian food culture. What are three interesting facts about Russian food culture? Three facts about Russian food and beverage culture I found most interesting was the fact that first, because of the cold climates in Russia, fruits and vegetables were very limited, and because of that, root vegetables were the most common, such as carrots and turnips. Those played a big role in Russian food. Second is the fact that in Russian cuisine, garlic, onion, butter, dill, and sour cream are the most commonly found flavors. Finally, I found it very interesting that the pig was the most common livestock in traditional Russian food. This is because beef and milk were expensive and very hard for peasants to use. This dish was most typically consumed in the mid 1800s. It was made by a successful noble family, the Straganovs. And how is this recipe unique to the culture? Beef stroganoff has many variations worldwide, as all that is needed for the dish to be classified as beef stroganoff is sour cream and sliced beef. For Russia, however, the dish was originally served over hand-breaded fried onions, and now is commonly served over egg noodles. I did not change the recipe found from A to Z Worlds at all to fit my own cultural influences or living situations. I do not need any accommodations for making the dish and wanted to keep it true to its original form. Here are all the tools I needed to cook my dish. I have two bowls, one to store the cooked meat and one to store the chopped onions before I cooked it and put it in the meat container. As you can see, I have two cutting boards, one for the raw meat and one for the vegetables, well really just the onions. Here are the ingredients I used for the dish. 1 pound of tenderloin, about a cup of sour cream, nutmeg, tarragon, salt, pepper, a small onion, and half a pound of mushrooms. Here I am chopping the onions. Then you can see me cutting the meat. Then the meat being cooked in butter. Then onions being cooked next. And then the mushrooms being cooked. And then the mushrooms with the sour cream. And then finally we put back the meat and onions. And then there's the skillet with everything in it. That is the final product of stroganoff that I made. Since one of the main ingredients is beef, being cooked in a pan and not just a microwave, it should provide good protein. It is an animal source, meaning that it does contain all 9 amino acids, or all 9 of the essential amino acids. This is good, as eating this meal after going on a run or the gym won't inhibit my protein intake. Another one of beef stroganoff's most defining aspects is being made with sour cream. Because of this, it contains dairy, meaning it completes the calcium needed intake. Beef stroganoff also contains onion and sliced mushrooms, providing a good serving of vegetables. It is, however, lacking both fruit and grains from the My Plate portion. This dish was great. I thought it tasted great. I never would have thought that the sweet taste of nutmeg would go well with steak, and steak being cooked in sour cream as well. I did not think that would taste nearly as good as it did. For my final reflection, this greatly heightened my interest in learning more dishes from Russia, and not just Russia, but from dishes all over the world. I had always liked food, but I never had thought about it that hard, but doing this heightened my awareness. This process also showed me how the food culture can be influenced through the environment. Like I had stated earlier, the Russians didn't use many vegetables, and the fact that this is beef made from a noble family shows that it was a higher end dish for a while there. And it showed me how culture in what we eat, while not isn't always connected to what's nutritional, but just how things happen.